Okay, now this is the top end machining center called Orion from LGF, and it comes in two versions. This, what you see here, is a completely enclosed version. You could have another version in which it is not completely enclosed but surrounded by a safety perimeter fence. Let's first have a look at the video for Orion. It's a 4-axis machine. As you see here, the longitudinal axis is X, the cross is Y, the vertical is Z, and there is a rotary axis on the spindle. Remember, in the Phoenix the rotary axis is on the table, but in Orion the rotary axis is on the spindle. That's the completely enclosed version. These are the clamps. It has pendulum style working just like the Phoenix, which means while you are clamping the job and working on it on one station here, the operator can come and load and unload profile at the other station. While the machine is working at this station, the loading and unloading of profile can go on at this station. So when the work gets completed on station A, the spindle can travel to station B and start working, while the operator can come and load and unload the profile that has been completed at station A. This is called pendulum style of working. Orion has a 5 tool or a 10 tool carousel. This is the automatic tool change operation going on. That's the spindle here, and you see the rotary axis on the spindle. It parks the first tool and picks up the next tool. What you see over here is not a spray mist lubrication. It's actually that is automatic clamp detection. That's the carriage. It knows where the clamps are, and in case there is a chance of a clamp collision or the work area is where a clamp has already been placed, it will come and remove the clamp from that area so that work can go on. While work is going on at this station, with pendulum style of working, you can load a new profile at this second station. Again, you see the clamp is being moved to another point so that work can go on at the next point. The programmer here in Orion has automatic warning, gives an automatic warning to the programmer in case there is a chance of a tool and clamp collision. Let's have a detailed look at the various features of Orion. It has got an electro-welded solid steel construction, which means the body is fabricated. The axis movement is on linear guides and recirculating ball screw. It can process work from 0 to 180 degrees and any intermediate angles by means of spindle rotation. If you want to do the programming in your office and bring the program onto the machine on a USB flash drive, then you have to go in for a PC, office PC of LGF. It's got a Windows interface. There are 4 axes which are controlled, 4 pneumatic standard clamps with automatic and controlled displacement. Those are the clamping. A 5.5 kilowatt motor. The x-axis stroke is 4 meters for the 4 meters Orion and 7 meters for the 7 meters Orion. The y-axis stroke is 1 meter. The z-axis stroke is 500 meters. This is the longitudinal axis. This is the transverse axis, and this is the vertical axis. The x-axis traverse speed maximum is 70 meters per minute. The y-axis traverse speed is 50 meters per minute, and the z-axis traverse speed is 30 meters per minute. With standard clamps, the working stroke or area axis X is 3980 millimeters for the 4 meter Orion and 6980 millimeters for the 7 meters Orion. The working stroke y-axis is 225 millimeters and working stroke on z-axis is 200 millimeters. The accuracy is plus minus 0.2 millimeters. The standard machine comes with 5 tool carousel and automatic tool changer. There is a possibility to process bars which are longer than the machine. The bars can protrude out from the sides of the machine and work can still go on. The working pressure used is 7 to 8 bars. Overall dimensions are given over here, and that's the weight. Standard equipment, 2 ISO 30 cones. Let's have a look, and this is how an ISO 30 cone looks like. This is actually the tool holder, and this portion goes into the spindle nose of the machine. It gets clamped at this portion, and that's how the cones are placed. This is the tool. There will be a collet inside, and the tool gets locked in the collet, and this is the locking nut for the tool. This is how the tool gets fixed. So this tapered thing that you see here, this taper is a ISO 30 standard self-locking taper. That's what an ISO 30 cone means. Okay, optionally you have the machine 4 meter or 7 meter with a perimeter fence, or the other option you can have is a completely enclosed version for the 4 meter and 7 meter. Barcode reader is an optional extra. If you want more ISO 30 cones and spindle collets, you can get them. You should order for as many ISO 30 cones as many spindle collets. If you want, see, the normal working RPM is 0 to 12,000 RPM. If you want the machine to also work up to 18,000 RPM, then you have to go for an inverter, which is an optional extra. Orion has 3 types of clamping. This, what you see over here, is a standard clamping system, in which that's the clamp and this is the job, and this is how the spindle works on 3 surfaces of the profile. That's the length of tool, that is 50 millimeters, and the total tool offset from this point is 97 millimeters. You can also have double profile working. You can tie 2 profiles side by side on the machine. The clamp would look slightly different. This is the standard clamp where you can only tie 1 profile, and this is the clamp for double profile working where you have this as a total clamp. So you have 1 profile here, 1 profile here, separated by a distance of 60 millimeters by the middle member of the clamp, and this is one end of the clamp, and that's the second end of the clamp. The working areas are given 105, 105. There has to be a distance of 80 millimeters. You are using a 50 millimeter tool This working area is 200 millimeters on this side as well as on this side. Third is the panel clamping. In case you have flat panels that you need to process, this kind of clamp is used for clamping panels. So you have a standard clamp, you have a double tightening clamp, that is for two profile working side by side. You have a panel tightening clamp, that's the third clamp that you just saw. And PC Office software for programming offline away from the machine, UPS only for the computer, end stop on the right hand side. As I have explained in Phoenix also, end stop is the reference point. So when you are doing pendulum cycle working, you need to prepare the machine for being able to understand profiles when they are set on station A on the left hand or on station B on the right hand. In that case, that is the preparation for pendulum working cycle modification. You need the end stops. You need the end stops on the left hand side, on the right hand side, and also in the center of the machines. That is the pendulum working style modification required for the machine. The tool changer standard is 5 tools in the carousel, and you can have an optionally 10 tool carousel also. Orion is also capable of doing end milling. That's the end milling operation on the Orion. This is the ISO 30 cone, that's the spray mist lubrication unit. This is the spindle, the standard cutter, which is 100 by 6, 100 millimeter diameter cutter and 6 millimeter thickness of the cutter. And this is the cutter holding spindle. This is the job and the end milling operation going on. Let's have a look at the other some other optionals on the Orion 4 and 7 meters. Safety perimeter fence is the fence all around the machine, or you can have